everyone doing? Again, coming off a disappointing loss to North Carolina. Again, there's facets of our team that we have to get fixed. We have to play better in all three phases in all areas. We all know, you all saw the game, you know a lot of areas in which we have to fix, we have to get better. And like I say, no one around here is used to losing, and we're not going to get used to losing. We're going to go back to work, we're going to do things, take ownership for it, look at the new ways to advance our program as far as how we play, what we got to do on a day-to-day basis, make the right adjustments, hopefully, get the right people in the right position if we have to, or make personnel schemes or change things to make guys be in the best position to do what we got to do so we can move forward. Because again, I still think we have a very good football team, a chance to have a good football team if we'll perform and move forward and do some things. Again, there's some areas that we're doing really well in, there's areas that we're not doing really well in. And a lot of people in that same predicaments right now. So we have to advance, we have to continue to educate. We have to continue to educate our players in situational situations, what we want, how we want it, be very technical about how we want things done so they can execute that way. We've got to coach it better. And educating, like I say, is not just informing, it's pulling it out of them. Not just making sure that we tell them, but making sure they do it, and making sure that we educate them and then get them to do it, and get them to take it from the practice field to the game field, so they can have the best chance to be successful. Because none of them perform poorly on purpose, but we have to have the right mindset and give them the right tools to be successful, and make sure they understand those tools so they know how to use those tools. And that's all on us. And like I say, expectations for us as far as how we want to go forward is proceed daily and getting better at what we do. Taking responsibility for what we do and try to make the adjustments necessary to enhance our team and where our performance is. We need to this week. Miami's a very good team. I don't know if they're top 10, they're undefeated, playing very well. They're 4-0. They're dynamic on offense, have playmakers at receiver, quarterback, and running back. Very physical defensively. Manny does a great job with the defense. Of course, Mark does with the offense. There's a lot of blitz packages, a lot of different looks, a lot of things they do. It'll be a home game. They have a great environment. They're very sound on special teams. So we need to perform at a very high level to have a chance to have success. And that's what our goal is, and that's what our intentions are. Questions?
Jimbo, on that last North Carolina touchdown, there's a video circulating of a couple guys jogging to the football, trying to chase the football down.
They did. Those are lows, and those will be adjusted. And we coach those every day. We do a pursuit drill when we start practice. Remember, you guys be out there, and be running from sideline to sideline. That's what that's about. And that's never accepted. When that's happened, gassers will be applied just like Mickey did back in the day. You count the number of loaves, you run them for them, you adjust for them, and if you can't do them, you won't play. And because effort is not about ability. Effort is not about a scheme. Effort is not about anything. And that was guys thinking two guys had the other guy on the ground because he broke 2 tackles, and they thought they had him and relaxed for a second, and no matter what, you chased this football, and that's got to happen.
But a few former players on Twitter have questioned the heart of this team or the motivation. Do you think these guys are related?
Yes, I do. This team has heart. And guys, it's funny for a player who has played, guys never know what's on a team till you're on a team. And for an ex-player to do that is very disappointing, or an ex-coach, because you can never judge what's in a guy's heart until you know him and you play with him. And that's very disappointing from an ex-player.
And going back to the low thing, are you surprised that you still have some of those issues even after
No. I mean, you have lows when you won. We had to win in 2013. We'd have some lows in the game for what our effort level is. I mean, you always have that. There's always a guy that you think and you're pushing, that you're counting as a low. And that's not something. I've never been on a team that walked off the field and not had a low. I've never walked on a field. And no team that's ever played here has ever done it. I know that. I know the guys, we got a bunch of ex-players on our staff who have been here. And I know exactly how it was done, when it was done, in the prime times and all that. There was lows at any time, anywhere.
Even in that type of situation where North Carolina...
That's disappointing. I don't know. I wasn't here. I wasn't here back then. I just know that that's disappointing in that. We will address that. We will fix that.
Overall, is the effort there on that side of the ball? Do you think that
Their effort, they've chased the ball. They've played hard. They've done things well. But when you're out of position, sometimes it looks like you're not playing hard at times. And if you're not making the right plays because the ball's cutting back or it's doing something, you know what I mean? But those kids have played hard, they've practiced hard, yes. And I believe in those kids 100%.
One of the defenders after the game said there was maybe lacking some confidence sometimes.
Matthew Thomas said that.
Matthew said it.
Well, if you're going to say it, please say
well,
it.
I didn't recall who at the time. But so Matthew said it, confidence. Is that something that you're seeing routinely?
Now, confidence, what does confidence come with?
Repetition,
No,
success.
success. And we've had success and haven't had as much success, so a guy's not going to be as confident in what he does. But what causes success is to get prepared and make sure you play well get your things down, so when you do it right, you have success. But see, nobody has confidence when you don't do well. I mean, I don't care what you are, at any level. Confidence comes with success and doing it right, and that's what we're going to practice for and do.
Jeff, I think you can see part of the team is struggling. Do you as the head coach get more involved in that?
I do. I do talk to the whole team. Ask them, what can I help you with?
And this week,
How can I help you prepare?
going into Miami, do you get more involved in the defense at this point?
I will. We're going to have to look and evaluate and make sure all the schemes and everything we do and the players understand what we want. And that's, as a head coach, you want to do that, which I've always been involved in the defensive side and looked at things and talked to them. They're doing this would cause them problems. They would do this would cause them problems. I've always done that. I've always meet with them every day. This is the part of the game plan we're in. What are they doing? What do they like? You know, this may cause them some problems. If they're doing that, I watch the film. They have a hard time with that. They may have a hard time with that. You're always doing it as a head coach, but as a head coach, it's your job to get all the way through all the players. It's not just because I call the plays, I'm still there. I love defensive football. I've always said that. I said you're never great till you're great on defense. And you got to be great on defense to have great programs. And I think that's where the foundation of all programs are. I love defense, and we'll be involved and support those guys and make sure they're doing the right things and we're doing the right things for them. Ask them, what can I help you do? Tell me how we can help you. What will make you prepare better? What will make you see better? What will make you do better? Because you got to give them a voice too.
Jimbo, have you considered making any sort of, changes maybe with scheme, personnel, coaches?
We do, yes, I said that. We are, we've made scheme, we've moved personnel, we've moved guys around, we moved them in the last game at different things, different positions they were asked to do, and we'll continue to do that and evaluate in all phases, from how we coach them, to what we're doing schematically, to their personnel and those things. And on all, we do that, we've done it on offense already. We've had Ricky Leonard, we've had Brock Rubel, we've had Wilson Bell, we've had Landon Dickerson, we've had Derek Kelly, we've had Kareem Orr. We're getting Maven Sanders now more involved because he's practicing better, doing better. Back there, Jacques Patrick has taken a greater role. We've continued to do that, all the way across, and we always will.
Great, you said that about the offense, but what
The
about
defense we moved the nickel guys, we moved the pass rush guys up front, the backers, we moved them the inside, outside, Mike DeWill. We've done the corners, the boundary corners, the strong safeties, the nickels. We've done that in all different positions.
Jimbo, with the play cards used on Saturday, is that the first time you've done that or a reason for it?
Well, and also to get information out quicker. Also block signals from what they're calling. They read signals from a press box. It also blocks signals from what you're signaling and which cards could be live or what they could do. And also, if we want to put information, it could be information on, there couldn't be. It also can be valuable to those guys visually if they can't hear in the game. And you look over trying to get a call and you haven't seen it, you can find it on the sideline. There's a possibility of doing something like that, just like the offenses do. See, that's like remember Oregon was famous for doing that for years. And what happened? We found that a lot of those guys, those things meant nothing. Sometimes they meant nothing. They were all trickery as they went on and on. But you can use them in different times to key formations, what your call is, to help get information when you're dealing with no huddle teams on the other side to make sure guys get communicated properly.
Is that something you see kind of staying in place though?
It could.
Jimbo, going back to player comments, I know sometimes when a player says something, it's not exactly what he means, but Dalvin and DeMarcus.
Did you read the whole comment of Dalvin? Did you look at the whole context?
Yes.
He said, what can we do? He said, we can control what we can control on offense. And we score, we did what we had to, but we win as a team, we lose as a team. Everything. And that's what he's saying. We scored, okay? But we're a team guy. We're not pointing fingers at that. Dalvin's as big a team guy to the defense as anybody on this team. This team will never split offense and defense. That's why we have the locker room set up like we do. That's why they room like that. We have the offense and defensive guys room together. We do all that for that because that's the biggest division that can ever happen. And that will never happen here. And that hasn't happened here yet. And it never will. And what he said was, listen, we played well. We did some good things. You said, I got to control what I can control on offense. We scored, okay? But we win as a team, we lose as a team. We have a lot to play for if you follow. We have a lot of teams on this schedule we want to beat. We want to have performance for them. We want to do well with. And so, you can take that, but that is not in the intent of what he said, and it's not how he said it.
When he throws out, well, the offense did our job first. It could
Well, he said we did our job in what I can control. He said, I control what I can control. What else can he control?
Right,
He's on the offense, and it did its job by scoring in the last drive. But we win as a team, we lose as a team. Did he say that?
Yes.
Okay.
But even DeMarcus said he did all that he could do, and it also it comes off.
Well, it does. You do all you can do. And each player has to look at that. It's not finger pointing. That's what frustrates. You get frustrated because you don't get the results you want. But you're doing all I can do, so I'm going to go back and do it again. It doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing it, or I'm going to get mad at anybody else, but I'm going to call somebody else out. You call each other out in practice. You think Jameis, Telvin, all those guys didn't have that issue going on. And guys in practice didn't call, hey, you're not doing your job, I'm calling you out, you gotta do your job. That's what leadership is. That's what education is, pulling it out of it. Leadership is not standing out in front and talking to y'all. Leadership, like what thing, you ever see that thing by Ray Lewis about leadership? Leadership's all done behind the scenes when no one's around. It's going to a guy that you don't think is doing what he needs to do or preparing like he needs to prepare or whatever it may, or whatever the scenario may be. And approaching him and saying, listen, you're part of this team, buddy. We need you to do this. We got to have you to do this. And that's what leadership is. It's not, you have to be vocal like that. You have to say those things. That's what actually happens on all football teams. It happens when we're undefeated. You know how many behind the scenes meetings that undefeated team had that guys got heated and got in arguments and because guys didn't think the other guy was playing it to his potential or not preparing for his potential or wasn't off the field, wasn't doing something right, or wasn't going to class or whatever it may be. Those happen all the time. They're always brought to more light when you're not having success in what you do. But the division of this team will never be there, and those guys love each other and they play each other. That's why there was not a guy absent, stretching stride yesterday. They had a great day. They talked. We'll do it today. We're going to ask them what we can do to help them, and we're going to move forward. But those guys, when they're walking in, you see them walking in around the buildings all together. Offensive guys, defensive guys, all that stuff. I mean, but guys get frustrated when you don't get results. But what frustration has got to lead to is how do I change my behavior now? How can I take what I'm doing and translate it into somebody else? That's what leadership is. How can I get him to prepare like I do? How can I get him to play like I do? That's what they're trying to say. Now, and that's what I say, they're going to get twisted and turned by how things are said and done. But you ask them, if they don't love each other, don't play for each other, that's not true.
Jimbo, have you been on teams where there has been that friction between
Not really.
offense and defense?
No. I've never been on it. Because I don't allow it. I don't believe in it. And if I ever catch an offensive player doing it, I used to snatch him by the neck. If I ever caught a defensive player doing it and I was an offensive coach, I addressed it to him and went to his coaches and said it. And that's why it happened. I've never been a part of that. I've never been a part where offense and defense have gotten divided.
Jim, the way the defense playing as a coach, can you ask more from this offense from a young quarterback like you know your friends a lot?
You can ask everything you want out of anybody. They're together. You're a family. Let me ask you something. You have any brothers or sisters? If you were struggling, would you think your family, your brothers and sisters would step up for you and do more? You'd hope so, wouldn't you? That's what being part of the family is. Mine would. I would for mine. So yes, you always ask. You do whatever you got to do to be a family and be successful. That's what they do. That's why you never divide. That's why you never talk that way. That's why you never even insinuate, no matter what. That's what you do. That's what being on a team is. That's what being a teammate is. It isn't about winning the championship. That's what y'all, we want to win. That's a goal. We don't play for goals. That's a reward for what you get after. You play because the camaraderie, the teammates, the competition, it's who you are, it's what you're made of, and you help the guy beside you. That's the life lesson of football, and that's what this finds out. Right now, you're going to find out the pretenders and the contenders on your team and who they really are and what they want to be and their true characters. That's what this game is all about. It isn't about all the media, it isn't about all the money, it isn't about all that other. That's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, that's all they're ever going to remember. The old teams, they remember the friendships and the bonds of the locker room. And that's what it's all about.
You talk about all these items like character, but how are you seeing it happen? Because you guys are 5-5 in the last 2 games, and Galvin lost 5 games in high school. What are you seeing from these guys that allow them to take?
We lost 2 on the last play of the game. We lost a very good Clemson team, and we lost a very good Louisville team. It was a good team. We had 2 plays at the end of the game, but it still doesn't change how you play. What is character? You don't have character because you didn't win.
No, that's not the question.
That's what you're saying.
No, the question I was asking is, how have you seen these guys deal with that? Because they're not.
They deal with it every day, and they're progressing and going to work every day, trying to get better and having a good attitude. And that's what it's about. And we've had great consistency over that time. Just because you've had a down spell does not mean that your program's going, your team's going, or anything else is going. You continue to do the same things, make adjustments as you go, tweak and turn as you go forward to things that need to be tweaked and turned by each group of players, and you adjust.
Are you satisfied with what you've seen in practice?
No, I'm never satisfied. I've never walked off a field satisfied. Even when we were 13 and we won 29 in a row. I've never walked off the field satisfied. When we won, when we lose. If you're ever satisfied, you need to quit. When good enough becomes good enough, then there's nothing else to do.
You talk so much about culture. It seems like you're not questioning these guys' hearts, and you like how they interact with each other. You still feel 100% confident in just
Let's take a question from Matt Baker and then Matt Michelle. Matt?
Hey, Jimbo.
Hello.
I wanted to ask about Miami. What do you see on film that's different about Brad Hyatt from when you faced him in the past?
I just more experienced. He's a lot calmer, more poised. You can see the maturity in him as he keeps going. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just growing as a player, a very good player.
Thank you.
Matt Michelle?
Yeah, Jimbo, you look at Miami's rushing attack. How do you guys need to handle that and keep that contained going into this game?
Well, we're going to be physical at the line of scrimmage. You got to be gap controlled, and again, they have good receivers down the field and play action. But you got to fill the gaps. You got to defeat blockers at the line of scrimmage. You got to be real fit. You got to be physical at the line of scrimmage up front for starters, and you got to mix your looks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You competed against Coach Rick a few years back. What are some of the hallmarks of his team that you see in establishing those?
He's always going to have a good quarterback. They're always going to throw the football well. They run the ball. They've always had good backs. When they were at Georgia, they got good backs down there. Stacey Searle's their line coach. I know a lot what he's a really good coach with me at LSU for 4 years. We do a really good job defensively. They've always had very sound defenses and good and special, but like they are now. Don't make many mistakes. Do the things they got to do.
Jimbo, you've had some teams in the past where one side of the ball is struggling more than the other. What do you kind of historically remember about how those situations work themselves out?
In what way?
Well, you've had maybe one side of the ball is doing well than the other.
But I mean, work them out as far as
prior teams. Well, how did those seasons go where you had one?
end up being successful seasons.
What are some examples you can recall?
2011, even though we still come out and all those young players on offense and we couldn't move the ball. We still come out and won a bowl game, won 7 in a row, and lost 2 games that year. At the end, we lost Clemson on the last game, missed a field goal at Virginia, had a chance, but we ended up having a really good year, and that actually propelled us into 12 and 13 for having the seasons we've had and what we did. LSU, 2001, won the SEC. We were 11th in the league in defense. First SEC championship we won down there. And lost 3 games, we're 4 and 3. Come back, won the league, come back and upset Tennessee, who was going to play Miami for the national championship in the SEC championship game. That team won 8 in a row, got hot, identified its identity. We got better on defense, and offense we took off and expanded, and won the SEC. 2000, the first year there was like that. Auburn, when I first went to Auburn, 93, we were undefeated. Offense, we were very average. By the middle of the year, we were really good. Played really good on defense, won a couple games with luck at the beginning of the year, and got hot, went undefeated. Come back 2002, 2003. 2004 at LSU, after the national championship, we're 3 and 2. Had to go to Florida, we're down 21-3, and won on a last second play and went 4 and 2, and went out, and then we lost the last play that year to Iowa, but that went 9-2 during the season. Ended up having, we were really good on defense and struggled because we had a new quarterback on offense. We're up and down on offense and had a new offensive lineman. That was the year after the national championship. And I guess got beat by Georgia 45-7 when Nick was the head coach. Got beat 45-7 over there, and then lost second one pretty significant right there, run off the bat. I can't remember who it was. And then came back and battled. You keep sawing wood, and you got better, just like now. I mean, we had done the same thing. And 2002, we were 6 and 1, ended up 8 and 5, and that's what propelled us. We lost to Arkansas. We're playing Arkansas backed up. Score against Arkansas, kick a field goal, go up 6 points, kick it to them. They're 2 of 50 or 0 of 13 on the day. Throwing, backed up on the 6-yard line, a minute to go. All-American corner, they line up and trips. All-American corner doesn't see the widest guy. Stays inside, they throw a 60-yard bomb down the sideline, hit it, throw one more pass, win the game, win the SEC West, go play for the West Championship. We went on, lost that game, lost the Cotton Bowl that year to Texas. On the next year, won the national championship. That was all. They all ended up 9-3, 9-4, 8-5. Got good bowl games out of it, but then a couple of them were 10-2. Come back. I mean, that year we won the national championship. Got beat by Florida. Lost both tailbacks. 2003. Had no tailbacks. We're 5-0. Got beat by Florida at home at LSU. Lost all of our tailbacks. Had to start 2 freshman tailbacks. Had never played it down. I was in Justin Vincent. Had 1,000, 1,200 yards in the last 7 games of the year. Put 2 freshman tailbacks in. Changed their identity on offense. Didn't throw it and move it around. Made it simple for them. And all of a sudden we got hot. Defense was really, really good. And we got better on offense. We all won the national championship. 2003. We had no even sights of winning the national championship. We were dead in the water. 3 tailbacks hurt and doing that. So, I mean, all those years, you go through this all the time in coaching. You adjust, you coach, you move on. You adjust. Just like everybody says at LSU, all those times we were up and down like crazy. But we're still consistent in the program, just like we're doing right now. We're still very consistent in how we win, what we do, and how we do things. Nothing changes. We make adjustments within our thing, with our personnel, with our people. That's what coaching is, educate and move on.
Jimbo,
There's about 7 of them.
Jimbo, how's Charles Kelly responded to everything that's going on?
To what? Nothing's going on. He's up there coaching his tail off and going to work every day.
Jimbo, you have to play somebody after a loss, but playing Miami and getting ready for a big rivalry game, does that add a different element to practice?
May give you a little more juice. It could help. Hopefully it will. I mean, it doesn't help that Miami's real good. That never helps, no matter if we're undefeated or not undefeated. That they're a really good team and present a lot of problems. But and hopefully, I think it'll get the kids' attention, knowing to get down there and play and what the game means and what it means historically here to what happened.
Jimbo, what does it add to the offense when your running back receives the ball so well out of the backfield like Dalvin does?
Well, it does. Sometimes we planned on that. Sometimes we don't. I mean, sometimes he was a check down read. Sometimes he was a second or third read. We were making good decisions. But it allows, anytime you get playmakers that can get the ball. And that's what we did. Our tight ends were so dynamic. When they start catching the ball, when your receivers catch it, when your back catches it, and when you get it, and you ain't got to block everybody now to get him in space. I mean, that's what McCaffrey does so well. That's what McCaffrey did so well at Stanford out there. A lot of the great backs. You look at the pro guys. Remember Marshall Faulk and all those guys. They were all great rushers. Remember, if you go back, they were some of the best receivers around. Some of your best pure backs are really guys that could really, really catch the football out of the backfield. And that's just the way they don't have to take all the punishment to get the yards and the touches.
Those swing passes were designed though, as though it kind of come out.
They were. Those were. Some of those were. The check down, the 40-yard game one. That was a great read by the quarterback. We were working a dig on the backside. He was an outlet. They left him open. We hit it and moved on. I mean, but there's things we designed for him and things we just built him into the normal offense. And those things happen over progression. If you just keep making good decisions, you'll find ways to get him the ball.
What improvements have you seen from him this season? Because it seems like he's been really active.
He has. He's getting better and better. He's learning. He's understanding the game of football. I know that sounds funny, but he only played 2 years and he'd been from the Bahamas. He didn't grow up around football. He grew up around soccer, the physicality of it. Growing, he was a big wideout. Had to move inside and learn to block and run routes and how you catch it. And then how you get open to scheme. We're setting in tight end, you're always confined around somebody. So how is the defense on this play compared to that play? Where the hole is. And he just gradually has pushed through. And like I said, I think he has a very high ceiling if he continues to progress and keep a good attitude because he has the physical skills and now he's understanding the game and he just gets better and better.
Sticking with what you said about him growing up in the Bahamas, I mean, what's the difference between maybe someone like him versus the typical American kid you get coming in?
They don't play football there.
Well, I know what I'm saying, but is there more teaching involved with you that you find, or?
I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you said. I thought you meant was the difference of him growing up in the Bahamas to here. I misunderstood what you said.
What I'm saying is because he grew up in the Bahamas where he didn't play a lot of football growing up as a kid.
How you teach him, you mean?
Well, yeah, is he different than the typical American kid that you get when he comes in?
Oh, no doubt, because he's never played. I mean, he has no background in some things that you would take for granted from a guy playing it since he was, like the Miami guy. They play it from the 5 years old up. I mean, and even the physicality of the game and how the toughness goes and all the instincts. So yeah, how you explain things to them, making sure you're very technical and understanding the big picture. When you teach those guys that, it's that way.
Jimbo, when Ricky had a rough start and missed a couple kicks, did you think about going to Logan or is Ricky?
Well, no, he's fine. He has 3 field goals. He was 11 of 12. I mean, he has 2 45-yard field goals on the left side, his strong side. We looked at the tape. His foot was too close and he had his toe turned. His plant foot was too close to the ball on those kicks. His toe was turned in and it was making him come across the football. It was all a technical thing. After the game, we were able to look at it. Because he had been lights out. I mean, he's been kicking the ball really well. So we'll continue to fix that and go back. But Logan's always there to kick. We had long field goals and things like that, yes. But it was funny when he got back and we talked about he went back to his basics on his PATs. As you see, after those kicks, his foot, we got it. I guess he worked on the side and he didn't kick it the same way he kicked it. Back there, he got his foot back and his toe normal and made the kick. Just made him come across the football.
As you saw you film. I know you were the offensive coordinator, you are an offensive coordinator, but you've always prided yourself on your defense, and that's always been something you're pretty very heavily, and you've had some of the best in school history since you've been here. For lack of a better question, how disappointing is it what you're seeing on Saturdays? How stunning is it?
Well, I mean, we're disappointed we're not playing to our potential. And anytime you don't play to your potential, you're disappointed. And whether that is being the number 1 defense in the country or being the number 15 defense in the country or being the number 30, whatever your potential is. That's your job as a coach to try to get that potential out of your players. And that's our job. And that's what we have to do. And we're disappointed that we're not getting our potential to players. That's why we have to ask them, how can we help you? How can we help you play better? How can we help you understand? How can we ask them? How can we help you prepare? What can we do differently? Can we explain something different? Can we ask you to do something differently? And also, these are things that we're going to do. I mean, it's an ownership thing between both sides. Like I say, people say, the old days, well, you go browbeat him as coach. You do, but at the end of the day, kids have to take ownership of what they're doing. And what I want to do is get them to understand how can we help them. We're in this together, one way or the other. So we want to help them perform better so they can play better so our team can do better. And that's our goal as a coach. And like I said, you're never not disappointed if someone, even if you're winning, is not reaching his potential. And that's what we have to do. We have to find a way to maximize that.
Can you do that in the middle of the season? Can you?
Yes, there was examples right there I just gave you. I'm telling you, you go back in 2000, 2001 LSU in the middle, we couldn't stop nobody. I'm telling you, we were last in the league. Think about Nick Saban defense being last in the league in defense. We ended up 11th, but those last 6, 7 games, we got better. And the offense fed, and we scored points, and we were able to pull out. We got in the championship game with 3 losses, unfortunately, because our side was crazy, and then we won it and won the Sugar Bowl. I mean, yes, you can. You get better during the season. We did it 2002. We did it 2003. On offense, we were stagnant. We won it 2003 and lost our tailbacks. Had to put think about it, 2 true freshman tailbacks played the rest of the year and never taken a snap. One gained 800, one gained 1,200. And we got better as an offense by doing that, believe it or not. You have to adjust, you have to do, and now, the kids did it and we did it, and that's what it is. We have to continue to do that. And that's what coaching is. Seasons go up and down. And I give you a couple more scenarios there when I was talking. That's what happened during those seasons. We had issues, we adjusted them, we coached them, and we had time, and over periods of time, they slowly got better and better and better. And the team took an identity and had success. That's what happened. I mean, what's going on now is expectations and everything else, but that's everywhere. As a coach, you don't worry about that. You worry about what you coach daily, and that's all you can do. And we're a product of our expectations, so we've had success. I understand that. That's no problem with that. But I live in the reality of what we have to fix and what we have to do. And that's when I understand fans get frustrated. Heck, I get frustrated as a coach when we don't do what we're supposed to do. That's life. But I don't mean I can't worry about it. I can't deal with it. All I can do is fix what we fix. And that's how we'll coach them every day.
Are defensive players expressing confusion or anything specific to you guys as a staff?
No, I mean, they don't. I mean, they understand what to do. A lot of them do. A few guys obviously don't at times consistently, or we wouldn't play like we play. And that's why we ask them, what can we help you do? How can we change? Can we practice in a different way? Can we practice something more? Can we practice something less? What's going to make you be successful? I ask our quarterbacks that. And it's not revolutionary. When I do game plans, I like this. Do you like this? Do you not like this? Can you throw this? Can you read this? Can you check this in the run? I do that religiously. How I call plays, what I want to start with, how I want to do things. And there may be things he says, Coach, I like this. I'll say, okay, I like that. I don't like that, Coach. Yeah, but this is one of them I got to have. You got to give me 1 or 2 here. And we'll work on it that week. Or he'll say, Coach, I don't, I really like that. But that's not as good as what this could be. I mean, there's a give and take in coach. That's what coaching is. It's educating and then pulling it out of them. You got to get it out of them.
Are they giving it to you then?
Yes. I mean, the guys are communicating. And we'll continue to communicate.
Jimbo, how much of the defensive struggles can you attribute to the injuries you've had in that side of the ball?
I don't want to use that. That doesn't matter. We can't deal with that. I mean, does it hurt that Derwin's not in there and we have some guys banged up? No doubt. But everybody has that issue. You have it, like I just give you scenarios of having it there. And we figured it out. Now it didn't miraculously change the next day. It got better and better and better over time and little things went on. But there's no doubt you want to be healthy, and the guy we're losing is one of, if not the best defensive player in the country, one of them. And he's a great leader. He's a great guy that keeps things together. And other guys don't have to do things they would be doing. But that's not that. Everybody deals with that. That's not an excuse in any way, shape, or form. You have to deal with play with what you got. And we got good players and we have good kids. We just got to figure out how to get them to play well.
Now you mentioned that you guys are always changing stuff on offense and defense, but I just wanted to be clear. Charles is still going to call the plays on that side of the
Yes.
ball.
How do you, as a coach, Ron Zoe famously said the noise in the system that comes with just being a coach, the noise in the system from the fans and the media.
I understand it. I don't blame them. I don't mean this. You guys write your stories to get your. I understand that. You're doing your job. Fans are frustrated. They do that. But as a coach, you respect that, but you don't listen to that because it doesn't fix your problem. That doesn't. You know what the issues are. Sometimes you can fix them quickly. Sometimes you can't. You coach and you do the best you can and you move on.
What do you think are the biggest? You just mentioned you know what the issues are. What do you think?
We got to do better.
What do you think are the biggest issues holding this team back?
Our consistency. It's got to be more consistent. Take it from the practice field to the game field.
Do you know which player on defense is now responsible for kind of making sure guys get lined up right and kind of being the communicator between the bench?
Derek calls it. But Derek's the linebacker that calls all the calls on the field.
There's been a little bit of a learning curve with that.
No doubt. He's never done it. See, last year, that's a new part of him. I mean, which he's getting better and better at. And, you know, guys, if you said whoever, whether it was Telvin, whether it was Derek Brooks back, they all make a mistake on the call. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally get you lined up wrong. But he's done a pretty good job of that. But it's also a different burden on how you play, too. If you take accepted roles, just like, I give you an example of, if you move up in management in your business, you get to go all the little things you used to do and how you wrote things and how you do things. Right now, you love writing probably, but as you don't get to go write the columns and spend all the time you get to do because you're the owner of Fortune. I mean, so when you move up, there's also another burden. I got to make that call, but then I got to go make the play and still do what I do. That's a learning curve for kids, but he's doing better and better at that. And other kids are. I mean, up front you got guys, DeMarcus, as they take a greater leadership role. Secondary guys who make those calls, they take a greater leadership role. That's all part of growth and development, but that's everybody. I mean, every team has that.
I'm guessing the hurry up offenses don't help you either.
No, they don't. You guys, but that's why we try to make things quick and simple. We weren't complicated. I mean, trying to make calls a lot simpler, and so because you don't do as much. That's what I'm saying in your calls and what you do.
Jimbo, why are offenses, it seems like across the country, having so much success?
Because the rules are bent for them. The rule, it's illegal. What you're doing on offense now is illegal. Should never be part of football. And I'm an offensive guy. When you can have a lineman go 3 yards down the field and it's a pass, something wrong with that. It gives false key reads. That's why you always, and then also guys are now running the football. But you don't, so where do you not see that at now? Everybody thought it was going to be a crazy in the NFL. What happened? You pay them guys all that money and they get hurt. And them guys out there catch it. And you got quarterback runs, which puts you up a guy. If you understand what I mean by that. Do you guys really understand what I mean, how a quarterback run changes? I mean, for instance, I'll give you, and you won't write this because you don't care, but you want to hear a different story. When I give you the real stuff, you never want to hear it. That's the bad part. You don't listen because you don't understand it. But anyway, if I'm a center and I run a stretch play to the right, and I got an A-gap player and I'm blocking the backer right here, okay? Me and that guard got to work at that angle to push the guy that way and then try to get a cut back or a run. When a quarterback runs it, you know the guy got to block it. It's usually right there. Now this guard comes down on my guy and we double and seal it up that way. So would the angles be much, and if I'm running that way, you know how much better that angles are? He just made me 10 feet better. He made me 3 steps quicker. He made me stronger because now I don't have to push and fight to that edge because I got a double team working back to it. So quarterback runs in college football are always going to change the game of football. Now, can you keep quarterbacks healthy? Do you have enough of them? And how they do it. It changes the whole dynamic of what you do on defense. And then when you can now fake the ball, and linemen can be, used to be you never allowed, if you have a lineman was downfield when a pass was thrown, it's an illegal lineman downfield. Now they can be up to 3 yards down. Now, you're a safety and you read an unblocked guy. You're supposed to read through the unblocked lineman. You run how they get beat. And that lineman is coming off and hitting the guy and blocking the guy on a run. And he's 3 yards down the field. What's your trigger to do? Come make a play. But now the quarterback can do that and see that, and then pull back and throw the football, and it's not illegal. And I know that sounds scary, everybody, but is there points going across the board everywhere in America? That's why. I mean, quarterback runs and the illegality of having linemen downfield. And if you say, well, Alabama does, it cost Alabama a national championship again. When we played Auburn for the national championship, they had a lineman 7 yards down the field on the pass, they threw it, tied it up before the kick 6. It would never been there. Should have been illegal. Last year when they played Ole Miss, remember the game on TV? They had a guy 6 yards. And so when Alabama just gave up 48 to who? Ole Miss. They gave up how much to Clemson? 40. What did we give up last year? Same scheme, same coaches. Gave up 23. We didn't score enough on offense. They're good on defense. So it doesn't matter. When you get into those schemes, it's going to happen because the rules of how you play defense, you're outnumbered, and then and what goes on in spread offense. That's why the splurge of offense in college football is crazy. There's a physical difference, guys. And it's not, the guys back in the 90s didn't face that. It wasn't around, it wasn't legal. Guys didn't do it.
So when you're deciding how much to run, DeAndre, is it a balance between?
Yes, and how much punishment can he take? How much does he get hit? When do you do it? All of a sudden he gets hurt. I mean, we lost. Think about when we lost Sean in the game we lost to Houston. We were moving the ball up and down the field, right? And Houston, first 2 drives, missed a field goal, had a field goal, moved it 90 yards, and we lost Sean for a quarter and a half, right? So when you lose your quarterback, and at that time, Everett wasn't with us. So we had a very inexperienced backup. So you don't have that. You can do it. But then you run it and you get him hurt, and that's like I say, all them guys. I mean, he's hurt Sean Watson every day. Remember, he almost hurt his knee in that game. I mean, and he blew his knee when he was a freshman running. So I mean, that's great. But if you lose him too, there's a risk and reward. I mean, for how you do it. But that's what's going on in college football. And you run your quarterbacks and you do it. That's the reality of it. And numbers on offense are going through the roof across the nation. I'm not saying that has to. I mean, we got to play better. I'm not deferring that to why we're playing like we're playing. Okay, and we have to play better on the defensive side of football and offense and special teams. But as a generality of what's going on, that's the dynamic of what happens, and that's where the game of football is at in the college game right now.
One more.
Jimbo, you mentioned running your quarterback, which you've done a lot with DeAndre. It seems like he's taking a lot of hits. I mean, you try to teach him a little bit.
I learned to get down, but then you got to get first downs, and that's part of it. You say, well, run, but run softly. How do you do that?
Well, slide after you get a first down.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot easier said than done. And then what does that come with?
Experience.
Exactly. And you got to learn to do it. You know, and as you're young, what's the first thing you want to do? You're competitive, and you want to do what? I want to go get things. You got to. There's a fine line from being smart and tough. You know, I mean, where you get then one time he's going to slide me 9 yards. Why didn't he get a first down? But I mean, it is. But that's what we fight every day. And you know what the answer is? There is no answer. You educate him to get what you can. Don't take a shot. Get out of bounds or get down. We do this. We exactly do that. And he doesn't mean to do that. Sometimes you don't see a guy. Sometimes that's all part of what we go through. We chasing the what ifs, and that's why I don't chase what ifs. I got to look at what we do. We got to fix it, and it's our job to fix it. That's the reality of what's going on, guys. But on defenses, it's tough right now with all the run pass reads and all the what they call RPOs in here, run pass options. That's what they mean. There's a run call, but they can throw a pass. Not the bubble screen. The bubble screens are different. That's behind the line of scrimmage. That's a whole different animal. I'm talking about throwing the ball down the field and doing things. And I'm telling you, it's tough on defense. And we do. You've seen us incorporate it now. We do it. I don't think it's everything you do. We put it in our package because we have to be successful. We have to move the ball and do the things you do. You got to take advantage of the rules. But I don't think it's fair to defensive guys. Now, it has nothing to do with our successful defense right now. I've said this before. I think it should be like the NFL. The NFL actually started doing it. They're allowed 1 yard now. Used to be allowed none. But their screens, the difference is their screens you can't block downfield in the NFL. So even on your bubbles, if you're blocking down the field before the ball's caught, it's illegal. So that limits change. The game is totally different. That's why a lot of those guys struggle when they go to the NFL, because now instead of a one-word play, they gotta call a play that long and adapt to a different game. It's a whole different game. But that don't matter to us. We gotta win the college.
There was enough momentum among coaches to reverse that.
No, they'll never go back.
Never go back.
Wow. Ratings and sites, what people want. And then defensive officials, it's hard as heck on them to call. Because when the guy throws the ball and looks down, he's 4 yards downfield. But where was he when he threw it? Was he 3? Was he 2? It's impossible for them to call too. It really is.
Do you think they get those calls right?
Most of the time. You look at, they may miss one case in the game, maybe 2, if with teams do a lot of them. But those guys, for the most part, get them right. They really do. But occasionally they miss one. I was just an example I gave, that just 2 of them that jumped in my head. So I knew, because I was preparing for that national championship that year, and I was thinking about Alabama, and Auburn done it, and I was watching the tape. I said, my God, that guy was 7 yards down the field. I know why the corner came up, the safety came up. I know why they came up. But no one saw. But sometimes, you don't see it. That's that's part of ball, and it's tough. But when the quarterback runs, it changes everything. It changes everything. And then you say, well, don't do it. But then that's why the NFL is going crazy. They can't. That's why guys get developing quarterbacks. It's what's happening out in LA. Remember I said before. Every guy's been in those systems. It's different.
You good?
Anything else? Now, we're going to try to get better. We ain't used to losing. We ain't going to get used to it. So, coach and get better. Thank you, folks.
Thanks, good.